Today I talked about the need for pharmaceutical companies to be bigger, bolder, and braver in their marketing. They need to tell bigger stories, stories that put their products or services into the lives of their customers. Think about the context of their products. They need to be braver marketers. They need to stand out a little bit and push their programs a little bit further out of the sea of same. And they need to have a bolder perspective, a bolder, recognizable tone of voice. I think the best way that both big and small companies, pharma companies, can think about using content and storytelling is to think about what their bigger story is. Really embrace the idea of a story as a differentiator. And ironically, your story is often not about you, it's actually about what you do for others. It's a subtle shift, but it's a really important one. So tell the story of how you help other people, how you help them shoulder their burdens and ease their pain. In pharma, literally, but any company I think needs to think about their bigger story as a cornerstone of not just their content, but of their marketing in general. What story are you telling that connects on an emotional level with your audience? Some pharma companies are doing great things in content and in marketing. I had a lot of fun looking for examples of companies who are doing things that are really interesting. One of my favorite examples that I showed today was from Novartis. They partnered with the Spondylitis Association, which is a nonprofit that funds spondylitis research and helps people who are dealing with this form of arthritis, sort of live better lives. And so what Novartis did is they partnered with this company, and then they got a guy by the name of Dan Reynolds, who's the lead singer for Imagine Dragons, who also is an ankylosing spondylitis sufferer, as their sort of front man to help them tell the story about what it's like to live with this disease. So Novartis launched a site called thisaslife.com. And what is on that site is all kinds of information that helps people who are dealing with the disease live their lives to the best degree possible. There's also a huge component that can help with early detection, which is part of the reason why Dan was interested in this. It took a long time for doctors to figure out what was wrong with him, what was the source of his pain. And so there's all kinds of things on this site that really connects with the customer. It's not about the treatment, it's about the person. And that's the key, I think, to any story, any pharmaceutical marketing, I think has to start with the consumer, with the person who you're trying to reach. I think the challenge in pharma marketing is trying to find examples of standout marketing. And I don't think that's a problem just in pharma. I think it's a problem across many different industries. There is an inherent fear sometimes of standing out, of taking risks. But I think we need to push ourselves to do that. I think it's true in pharma, and I think there's a lot of other industries that need to do it as well. So just finding those great examples of marketing is something that I sort of obsess over this. I try to find examples all over the place. In pharma, it was a little bit harder, I gotta say. They're out there though, and I tried to show examples because I want to inspire the audience to think about their marketing in different terms of really taking advantage of the opportunity to break through and to create programs that drive business, that work. So I think the theme for pharma in 2018 is to be bigger, braver, and bolder, to really embrace the opportunity that we have with content. I see signs of it, using social media in a more smart and strategic way, number one. Figuring out your bigger story, I guess, is the most important thing. And number three, thinking about your tone of voice. Cover up the logo on your website. Do you recognize you? Do you sound different, or do you sound like a potential competitor? So I think those three things are really, really important. Using social to connect with customers in a very real way, figuring out your story and your tone of voice.